Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Do I need to stop it?
And that's okay.
So I'll go like that with 3 minutes left, and then if it's 1 minute, I'll go like that.
Okay. Good motivation.
Okay, one more demonstration and you need a client.
How long will we present for? 15. You got the Wow.
Sharika, you just want
That's okay.
I'm just gonna leave it. I can't stop it. It's fine. It won't stop.
You ready?
I was gonna put
You ready?
All right, you want to tell us about your client?
Yeah, so Jessica is a 20-year-old sophomore in college. She currently enjoys going out and parties with her friends. When they go out and party, she likes to drink alcohol and take Xanax together. And the problem with that is that she's forgotten how many drinks she's consumed before and has had alcohol poisoning twice because of that. She also likes to take Adderall because for studying or making good grades.
Can I just use the thing real quick? Sure.
Here.
She believes her actions to be harmless, especially because she believes everyone in college either drinks, takes pills, or does both, so she doesn't see it as a big deal. Although she knows she has been hospitalized, she believes that if she's more careful in the future, then everything will be fine. Before attending college, Jessica never drank alcohol or took non-prescribed medications. Jessica would just more so hang with friends at their house, and if she did go out, she'd just go to like the mall or the movies. Jessica was referred to treatment services after her parents found both Xanax and Adderall in her purse, and they were also aware of her being hospitalized for alcohol poisoning, and her parents are concerned for Jessica's health and well-being. I'm using motivational interviewing, and we've all seen that. It's like a client-centered, collaborative, goal-directed approach that attempts to evoke and reinforce inspiration for change. And the skills that I'll be trying to use are just little simple, open-ended questions, affirmations, and reflection.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on. Sorry, recording everything?
Yeah. I left it.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry. Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. And yourself?
I'm good. My name is Shantae, and I am a social worker from Treatment Services. You were referred here by your parents because they were a little concerned about your health and well-being. So I just kind of wanted to discuss that a little further with you. But before we talk about that, I also want to let you know that everything that's discussed between you and I will be confidential unless it involves you or someone else being in immediate danger or harm. Then that is something that I will have to report. Is that something that you understand?
That's fine.
Okay, great. So, like I said before, I have a little background information on what's going on that your parents gave me, but I would kind of like to know your point of view and your take on the situation. So, what led you here today?
Okay. They think I have a problem. I don't have a problem. I'm fine. But anyways, they're concerned because I guess when I was home, I never had drinks. I never took unprescribed medications. But that's because we used to go to church and it was boring. And now I came to college. This is what we do. We drink. We take we take pills. We do this. We do that. We go to parties, and it's fun. I mean, I'm fine. I'm here. Yeah, I've been in the hospital a few times, but I'm okay.
Okay, so what I am understanding is that before you didn't do that just because you're kind of with your parents. You
Yeah,
kind of
that's
like,
disrespectful.
and you felt like that was disrespectful. But now you're in college, and everybody else does it, so
Exactly, it's okay, we're okay, we're here.
it's kind of like a normal thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and so is that something that are you kind of like a go with the flow type person, go with the crowd, do what everyone else
No, I
does?
wouldn't say that I'm that person. I think I always had the urge to drink, but because I never had a drink before. So when I first got a drink, it was like, okay. And then with the Xanax, oh my gosh, it's like the best feeling in the world. And you know when I come down from that, it's time to study after partying, and I take Adderall so that I can focus and do my work and get good grades that they want me to do. So I'm here, I'm straight A's and B's, I'm doing good, so I don't see the problem.
Okay, so you did say that you've been hospitalized for taking the Xanax and the alcohol, and can you tell me a little bit more about how that is when you take both of those medications together?
I really can't tell you what it's like. I know when I do it, it's like the hype of doing it is great, but I don't remember much of. I don't remember. But I only do it at parties, and how often do we party? You know, I don't go out every weekend, but when I do, yes, we have Xanax and alcohol, and I've only been in the hospital twice. You know, I know people who've been in there many times before, but I'm here. I'm okay. So what's the problem?
Okay, so you've only been in the hospital
Only 2 times.
twice,
Only 2 times.
and that's really not a lot of times.
No,
2
2.
times.
No.
Okay, and so you say that I'm sorry. So how many times would you consider to be a lot?
Maybe if I make it 3.
Maybe 3.
Maybe.
And you say you often forget is a problem. So how do you know if it might not be a 3rd time that you would be hospitalized?
Well, I don't want it to be a 3rd time because, you know, then that might be my last time. So maybe next time I'll have a few less drinks with the Xanax.
And how will you have a few less drinks if you forget sometimes when you are drinking? How will you manage to do that?
Well, maybe I'll slow down. Maybe I'll take a pen and a paper and write how many drinks I have. Do
Okay,
you
so
think that would be better if I do that?
well, that decision that you're gonna make is ultimately up to you and what you think is the best decision for you. So you do believe though if you do write it and
Yeah, because if I write it down, you know, if I have 1 drink, then I will sit and see how I feel, and then 2 drinks, and then 3 drinks, and then 4, and then maybe 5, 6, 7, you know. And I'll see how I feel after each drink, and then if I feel like I can't do anymore. But then, you know, if I don't remember how, I don't know.
and let's suppose that maybe you wash your hands and then there's no more of the writing on your hand. What would occur then if you no longer had, you know, track of how many drinks that you did have that night on your hand anymore, and then you were forgetting on top of that? What would then happen?
Okay, so where are we going with this? You're telling me to stop drinking, or
No.
no?
This is your choice. If you want to drink, you know, that's your decision.
Okay, so
I
maybe I will take, maybe not alcohol, maybe I'll drink wine instead. Wine with,
And what do you think would be different if you drank wine instead of alcohol?
well, it's not as strong.
You don't believe it's
No,
strong?
to what I drink, no, I don't think, no, I don't.
And what do you usually drink?
Like the top level stuff, we have Hypnotic, we have Johnny Walker, Blue Label, Hennessy, don't, you know? So maybe if I drink wine, you know, or maybe something like, I don't know, barefoot wine, or what do they call it? I don't know. Bare feet, something like that.
Bare feet wine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moscato, that's what they call it, Moscato.
Okay, so you would rather consume Moscato.
It's
And wine.
lighter. It's lighter. So I don't think I'll be hospitalized for that. Mm-mm.
Okay, so do you think that the hard liquor is what's causing you to be hospitalized, and that's why you think that you should use a lighter?
I think it's the hard liquor with the Xanax, maybe. I'm not gonna give up Xanax. Though. I'm not gonna give that up.
So what are all the good things that happen when you take Xanax?
I don't remember them.
You don't remember,
No.
but you don't want to give up Xanax.
No, because I know while I'm doing it, the rush of it and everything, but I'm not conscious enough, like long enough to understand or feel the positivity of it. So, I don't know. It makes me feel good.
It makes you feel good. Okay, and I mean that's understandable. Everybody likes to feel good, that it's a good feeling, I understand that. But what would be the negatives if you did give up Xanax, if you were to consider that?
The negatives, like give it up. I wouldn't know because I guess I would have a boring life again, like how it was when I was back home.
So when you were back home, you believe your life was boring?
Yeah. It wasn't as exciting as it is now.
Okay. And we're talking a lot about the Xanax and the alcohol, but how do you also feel about the Adderall?
Oh, the Adderall? That's just to help me focus. So whenever I have a test, if I need to stay up late to do homework or anything like that, I just pop like 5 of those. I'm okay.
Okay, so you take about 5 Adderalls in order to help you focus.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you wouldn't be able to focus otherwise? Like, did you have problems focusing before?
Yes, yeah. When we go out, we will party all weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we have school on Monday. So, like, I used to sleep through classes, miss my tests and stuff like that. So, my friend introduced me to Adderall actually, and it worked.
Okay. So your friend introduced you to Adderall, and ever since then you've been taking it,
Yeah.
and it's been helping you focus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's primarily your reason for
Adderall? Yeah.
continuing to
Mhm.
consume that substance. Okay. And I can understand that, sometimes you want to be able to focus. Does it help you make good grades as well, or?
Yes, it does.
Okay, and before you were taking that, back when you were in high school, were you also making good grades, or?
I was, but see what happened when I came here and the partying started. Then I fell off track because I was drinking and then I couldn't wake up for school. I wasn't going to classes. I wasn't focused in class. So it kind of helped me with that.
So it seems like you like to party a lot. Partying is a big factor in your life right now.
I mean, it's college. I'm a sophomore. What else do we do?
So that's pretty much what every other sophomore does is party.
Yeah.
And could you imagine your life without partying? What would life be like if you didn't party?
It would be like back home when I was in high school. Boring. Rich girl. Doing what my parents want.
And you don't feel like you want to be brought back to that life?
No.
Okay, and I kind of want to talk about your parents' concerns. How do you feel about them being concerned about you and the concerns they have?
Well, I understand that they're concerned because they're so far away and they want me to be safe, being that I'm the only child. But I always felt that I was sheltered, and they don't see that they're sheltering me. They don't see that they're smothering me. But I understand they're concerned, but at the same time, I want to be my own person,
And I heard you say that they want you to be safe. Do you feel like that you are safe and that you are being safe?
When I don't drink, I do feel safe.
But when you drink, do you not?
When I don't remember. So, not remembering, I guess, that's not so safe. Being that I don't remember.
So you feel like sometimes when you don't remember, you can be in a position where you aren't safe.
Maybe.
And how do you feel about that? How do you feel about not being safe sometimes by not remembering and consuming Xanax and alcohol together?
Well, not being safe. I mean, if you have to think about not being safe, like what kind of life would that be if you have to go about doing everything like, oh my God, I shouldn't do that because that's not safe. I don't want to live that life either.
So are you saying that you try not to think about it because you don't want to think about how that would be, so you just put it aside and don't believe that.
Exactly. Mhm.
Okay. And that's understandable because you don't want to live your life in fear. Is that what
Right.
I'm hearing?
Yes.
Yeah, when you live your life in fear, it's just kind of, you'll stop yourself from doing a lot of things
Mhm.
that you may want to do.
Boring.
So right now, I'm hearing that right now you want to have fun, you want to have a good life, you want to party, and right now, what's helping you do that is the Xanax and alcohol together, and staying focused and making good grades is another priority that you have right now, and the Adderall is helping with that.
Right.
And to you right now, that's not a big deal.
No, it's not.
And that's really normal. And I can appreciate you coming here and discussing this with me and telling me about that, because that could, it's not easy for everybody to come to a stranger and tell them about, the things that they're going through. And I know that, that could be hard. So I appreciate that and I thank you for that. And, I understand you're wanting to continue with those behaviors as well. But I would also like to maybe suggest if we could possibly in future sessions, would you want to do a future session?
Sure. No problem.
Okay. If we could maybe speak with you and have your parents here as well, since they're very concerned about your health and well-being, and if y'all have like maybe a family session together. How would you feel about doing a family session?
Well, I already know how that's gonna turn out. They won't understand.
They won't
No,
understand.
they won't.
Okay.
If you feel that it could be beneficial, then I really want to let them know that this is the person that I am.
Okay.
So maybe we could do that.
And maybe you could let them know some of your other feelings, because you did say you have feelings about being sheltered and things of that nature. So whenever you're ready, you can do that. Otherwise, you could still have individual sessions until you're ready for that point. But it's all about you and when you're ready for that. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Debrief, Shantae, debrief.
That was so hard. Like, I don't think I'm a motivational interviewer at all. Like, this is not. This is not my calling. Like, seriously, I'm like getting stuck. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, it's just because I'm like the type of person that likes to. Like, I noticed I was asking yes or no questions. I'm like, open ended. Oh my gosh, here I am. Like, this. And, I mean, I try to ask some, but I know some people were like yes or no, and I'm like, okay, I'm not supposed to be doing that. I just kept on thinking of all the stuff I'm not supposed to be doing in the moment instead of just like going with the flow. And I feel like so it was really hard for me. Like, and I was just I'm done.
I think I was a very difficult time. I think I was difficult, but she did good. Like, she did.
You did good, yeah.
I had times when I was thinking like, oh my gosh, okay, what do I say now? But she did good. You did good.
Alright, so this is where we start. Alright, I'll start. I had that it was a good introduction. You clarified your role, you included confidentiality. Like you asked her perception of the situation. You did a good job of reflecting early on. And it seemed as if the client was able to open up easily. I think you guys were able to build rapport quickly. You reflected back on her hospitalizations, you tuned in. At some point, you got the client to realize her behaviors, some of her behaviors. I can't remember exactly what was discussed, but you guys talked about maybe possibly her keeping a journal of how many drinks. That was like good homework. You did a good job at reminding the client the decision was hers, and because I think there was a point she asked you like, what do you think that I should do, Marina? The client was challenging, but I think you did a good job in keeping calm. She was like really bubbly and like you got the client to think of maybe alternative, I guess drink in terms of like the hard liquor versus like a glass of wine or whatever. You normalized, you asked about negative and positive behavior. family dynamics, but I don't know if that's like under MI. You can do that under MI. Could you have asked her more about her family situation?
Possibly, maybe
Okay.
not like family history.
Yeah.
You said no?
I don't know the extent of family history.
Well, that would be like more open-ended question, like, you know, so tell me a little bit about your concerns regarding your family, so yeah.
Okay. I think you let the client guide the session. I think it was a good question. We asked, what would life be like if you didn't party? That was good. You also asked, that was a good question, do you feel safe when you aren't drinking versus how you feel when you aren't? She mentioned that she can't remember, so it kind of got her, I think, to start thinking like, okay, so maybe this. I think you did a good summary in the end. Use the strengths perspective and to encourage and promote the courage behind you coming to sessions. You asked her if you could make suggestions, and I think you made the client feel as though she had control over the session and whether her parents were invited to come in. I think they discussed that about her parents. Yeah.
I have the basic same stuff as Megan. You went over confidentiality and her safety, give reflections, open-ended questions. You made the client think about alternatives for drinking. You explored her drug use and why, like positive and negatives about it. You understood her feelings. You explored her past, like what would she do when she's in high school, all the difference between you taking drugs now and then. You touched a little bit on the concerns of her parents. A lot of questions about how she feels about being safe. And you said the fair question, like, if you don't want to live in fear and life in fear. That was a good reflection because I felt like she felt like she was in fear. You summarized, and I think you did. Was the class of anything?
I love how you summarize.
Yeah.
You're like the way she checked in with confidentiality. A lot of times we take it into, a lot of times we assume they understand what we're saying, and sometimes they don't. They can always go back and say, well, you didn't say that to me. And you gave her a chance to say by asking her, do you understand?
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
Right.
That is
Yep.
true.
Your reflections remind me of Dr. Ingles.
Really?
Yeah, like, you did a really good job doing that. I don't know what you're talking about. You did really well with what they were doing. You asked a lot of evoking questions.
Your body language.
Yeah.
I tried to do this at the beginning and then it just unraveled.
But you made it comfortable.
Yeah. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like distracting, you're engaged in like what you're
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, you definitely seemed very, very engaged,
Yeah.
you seemed very real to me.
Yeah.
You were difficult and you could not tell at all that you were even nervous,
Yeah.
nothing, like you were just like, when she was showing excitement, you're like, so this is how you feel, like you're showing what she
Yeah.
feels.
Yeah.
I think you did a very good job.
Yeah.
And you weren't like, oh, well, you should stop drinking. She didn't want to stop, so you met her where she was.
Yeah,
at.
yeah. You didn't tell her like, well, you need to stop for your safety.
You were blacking out, so you didn't address that. Yeah.
Any last words?
We're with.
This evening, so